if there's enough people listen to this, if there's enough views on this video, if there's enough comments, if Boss are listening, this could actually get made. Think about that. Now, for people like myself who run the Boss BR80, Micro BR80, the version 2, for basically since it came out, they're probably like me that we were always waiting for an update coming along. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the BR80. It's a fantastic device. It does everything. Well, it doesn't exactly do everything, but for what it is fantastic. And this is, I'm guessing that this would be the reason why they never updated it, because it just kept selling by the boatload, and it's still selling today. For a device that came out, 15 years ago, something like that, the fact that it's outlived all these other devices, even your Tascams, is remarkable. And I wouldn't say anything about the Boss BR80 that's detrimental to it in its recording. Basically, you've got to take in mind the size of it and what it can do, but it does everything really, really well. Like, they say that it's great to bring out demo device to demo your songs. Well, I think I don't think I know it's better than that, like, and I've got the songs to prove it. Having said all that, I give up hoping that there was going to be an upgrade years ago. And I always thought, it's an 8-track. You've got 2 tracks, which is the drums are on, the drum machines. And then you can mix everything down to a stereo pair, which is great value for money, really, because there's a lot of these digital recorders came out and they were saying it's this amount of tracks, that amount of tracks, but it wasn't really. Not when you included mixing down to stereo tracks, or if there was an inbuilt drum. So they didn't even push that, Boss, like with the BR80. I mean, it just says 8-track, and I mean, it feels like it's bigger than an 8-track. Like, having said that, I was always waiting for, and I was hoping for an upgrade to even a 12-track, right? But then with the added, so possibly it would be technically an 18-track if they went along the same lines as this. So that's what I would have wanted, a BR Micro 1200, whatever. My biggest problem with the BR80 began to be, I was thinking, well, it would have been nice if it had an XLR input in it, so I could get Shure microphones in there. You sort of think, well, surely these little microphones, these condensers, they're good, but you really need to be getting a microphone in. And I mean, it's just like, you could put condenser microphones in Rhodes and Neumanns and anything, so that was always, I always felt like that was a bit of a shame that wasn't included. As things have developed out, I thought years ago, if it had a colour screen, and then I thought, well, it doesn't need that. But then you've got some of the latest releases from like Zoom colour screens. I don't think we need colour screens, like, because it's just battery power. The batteries are great, like, but it's still just using up battery power, and it doesn't need to. So I don't think it needs to have a colour screen. I don't think it needs, on the screen, it doesn't really need any clever editing. Basically, just what's on the BR80 is fine. The whole way the BR80 works is great. It just needs a few more tracks on it. The way the drums work on it, the way the drums, you can lay down drum patterns, it is fantastic. It's very, very quick. It's very easy, and it's far superior to the BR800, which I don't know if it came out before. I think it must have came out before the BR80, like, but whatever, I don't know. It's that the BR800 should have the same, way of working that the BR80 does when it comes down to recording drums, doing the drums on the drum machine. The drum sounds are fine. The sort of room kit is quite good actually. But you do, after a few years of using, I mean, I'm an extensive user on the BR80. Like, I've written lots and lots of songs, so most people wouldn't be that full on with it. Being a sort of professional musician, it's my job, so, I spend a lot of time on recording equipment, and especially the Boss BR80. And like, if I was using it, I wouldn't have used it and record on it if it wasn't any good. So that again, that would just be the like I say, maybe 14 tracks. Everything else it's just fine on it, obviously the jog wheel as well. There was problems with the jog wheel. It's too fiddly, and I don't know if they address that and fix that. But it needs to be more of a sort of, I don't know why, the look is exactly the same on the BR800. The dial here is the same, which is slightly bigger on the BR800, but it's protruding from the surface, and it feels nice to turn. It's solid, so I don't know why they had to be so flat against the device like on the BR80. Something like that would be better. Obviously, going back to the drums there, I just remembered the drum sounds. I mean, surely now, if they did do an updated version of the BR80, which they should, the whole point of this video is that the drum kits, get some really real drum kits in there. Keep the whole thing the same. Really great drum patterns in there, like real sounding drums. It doesn't have to be. The thing about the BR80 is, when people are buying these devices, it doesn't have to be thousands of drum sounds, thousands of guitar sounds. All this has just got to be exactly how they've done it. Yeah, just the right amount, but really quality sounds. And again, that's the thing. The technology's coming on a little bit more in terms of sound in guitar simulation and bass guitar simulation. It hasn't jumped as far as I think people would have thought 10 years ago, because that's basically because it was pretty good 10 years ago, But, if that was wanting to be included, some of them sounds from the latest Boss simulation guitar effects, that would be nice in there. Again, to keep the price down, it doesn't have to be menus and menus and menus, just the same sort of thing as they've done here. Just some quality sounds. That's what I'm trying to say, quality sounds. The content denser microphones on the BR80, fine, it's very, very good actually. Everything, the line-in's brilliant on it. The whole feel of it. I mean, the design of it. I think if there was ever to be an upgrade, maybe it's a bit more. I always thought maybe it's, like a handheld, how your handheld computer games. They're like slightly rubberized on the edges where the palms of your hands would go. So it's a bit more, ergonomic. Is that the word? It sort of fits around your hand a bit more rubberized, a bit more. It could be. It doesn't have to be square shape. It could be a bit more rounded, because that's how you hold it. Like, you hold it in both hands. And the great thing about the BR80, and I said this to a fella in a music shop once, and he laughed, but it was the truth. I mean, you can lie on your back. The good thing about the BR80 is you can lie on your back and mix, and that's really relaxing. Stick the headphones on. And the great thing as well about the BR80 is not all your mixer settings are saved, so you can go on to the next song and you can work on that, and you come back to the song you were working on. All the mixer settings, the volume settings, the fader settings, everything's in the same position, because there's no exterior faders or anything like that, which is brilliant. I mean, that was just a design feature just to, keep this BR80 as a slim, flat design, but it's actually a great idea in itself. Even bigger Multitrack should have went that route. Everything's just, it's good to be able to leave a song and come back to it a week later with fresh ears, and then you can, that needs change. There's too much of that. And you'll guaranteed you'll get a better mix, like. But you know, you haven't got that anxiety of fear as being, you know, having to maybe writing down, you know. I mean, I know obviously all your door systems don't have that, but, you know, I'm talking multi-tracks here anyway. But that's a great feature of the BR80, you know, which would have to definitely be, well, obviously, to keep it small and that. And what else? I mean, it runs off two AA batteries, rechargeable, lasts for ages. If the device could still run on two's a good number for batteries. Two's a good number because it's just a small compartment and straight in there. When I first got the BR80, I was disappointed because it felt, but even before I switched it on, I thought, what's this? It's like, just like a calculator. It's like there's no weight in it whatsoever. I thought, just cheap plastic. What is this? You know? And then when you get the batteries in it, it's got that, it feels weird. Yeah, so you can sort of, you know, your brain's telling you that, oh, it's quality now, like, but it's just the weight of the batteries. I don't suppose, you know, if there was ever an updated version where it would be made out of more quality stuff, like a metallic casing, obviously not, you know, because like I said, if you want to do the relaxing, mixing position lying on your back, you know, you want to have something that's just, you know, light in your hands. You know, you don't want to have anything that's too heavy. But, you know, the slight rubberized stuff on the side of the BR80. Just what I said there about the you know, the rubberized feel. They've got that, they've sort of got that as well, like there, but it's just slimline. And that's it. I mean, if you've got the BR80 yourself, if you've had it for years, if you've just gotten one recently, then over the last few years, like I say, they're still selling. You know, you'll have no issues with it whatsoever. Even if you're full on recording loads of songs with it, it'll be a few years before you start getting sick of the drum sounds, or, you know, wanting to stick an XLR mic in or something like that. So, you know, which is impossible, obviously. You know, so it's a great. It could go. You know, if they upgraded this, you know, to a few more tracks on it, this would still be on the shelf. This could still be sold in conjunction with the other one. Like, there's no reason why they should discontinue this. Just do an upgraded version. That's all. And I'm sure both would sell. You know, what are your thoughts? Do you have one? Have you had one for years? Do you think it needs to have an upgrade? If you've had one of these, I know for a fact you will definitely think that, because, you know, it's an odd thing. But there's a lot done that, you know. I mean, I have the Zoom 234 drum machine, and it's beyond me why they discontinued that. Like, really is. But, you know, everybody knows about and has equipment that they cannot fathom why they stopped making these things. But for me, it's a BR80. You know, like I said at the very start, you know, if there was enough people, you know, I mean, it's market research, isn't it? And if this video went somewhere to getting that message across the boss, they must know that people want an upgrade of this. You know, I mean, how much money has Boss made through people buying individual pieces of equipment? We want it all in one box. We don't want all the bells and whistles. We just want quality in one little box recorder along the lines of the BR80. And Boss will absolutely hit it out of the park, like, for the next 30 years. Absolutely. And I think if they did do that, upgrade the BR80 along the lines of what I would imagine, I would hope for, and other people would hope for as well. I think if they did that, it would be the last multi-track. Like, it would be the multi-track to end all multi-tracks, because with AI coming in and all the technology, you know, there's so much coming in the future. What a way to go out, you know, the greatest multi-track of all time.